And God said, because I'm going to give you a baby. And I will tell you at that moment, I knew I was hearing from God, because I've never in my entire life prior to that moment just felt so much peace. My oldest is Cameron, and he's 9, almost 10. We adopted him from birth. My husband and I had gone through 3 years of infertility treatments, and even prior to realizing we were going to have problems conceiving, we'd always known we wanted to adopt at some point. So it was a pretty easy decision to make once we were told we pretty much had no chance of being able to conceive naturally. We had gone to a fertility clinic and were told that our only option was to do in vitro. And even at that, we had about a 10% chance, which basically means we would never be able to conceive naturally. And even doing something like in vitro, it would be very unlikely. So at that point, we made the decision to adopt. And I just figured that's how we were going to build our family. I was fine with adopting. I was fine with building our family that way forever and never having babies. Periodically, though, I would see pregnant women, or I would see moms with little babies, and I would have that desire again to go through all that, And I didn't want that. I really did not want to keep desiring to have a baby if I wasn't meant to have a baby. So I told God one day, I said, if you intend for us to only adopt children, and I'm fine with that, please take away this desire I have. So I asked him, why have you not done that? Because it's kind of like torture, having a desire to do something that you're never going to be able to do. And so I asked God, why have you never taken the desire away? And God said, because I'm going to give you a baby. And I will tell you at that moment, I knew I was hearing from God, because I've never in my entire life prior to that moment just felt so much peace when I felt like God was speaking to me. And I've over the years, I felt like God has told me things, but in that moment, I knew it was His voice. And I felt so much joy and so much peace. And I'm so thankful. And I knew that one day He would give me a baby. So I was helping out with Life 5, and the second night of Life 5, I went and got a pregnancy test because I thought I could possibly be pregnant. And I could not wait to take it at home. So when I was at church, I took it at church before Life 5 started. And it was positive. I kind of freaked out inside. And I didn't want to say anything to anybody because I wanted to be able to tell my husband first when I got home. So nobody knew that night. I just went about the night. The interesting part is that I didn't realize this, but our Bible story at Life 5 that night was about God's promise to Abraham and Sarah that He would give them a baby, and how God was faithful to fulfill that promise. I am 37 weeks, so I'm almost there. Yep.
Okay. And you chose Isaac because?
I wanted the name Isaac because of the similarity of stories between my God promising my husband and I a baby, and Him promising Abraham and Sarah a baby, and their firstborn was Isaac.